This is the training for basic users on the NetFacilities system. On the login page, you will enter your email address and password. There is a checkbox to remember me. Click the Submit button to log in. On your first login, the system will have you confirm your profile. Click the button on the lower left to confirm your profile. The system will bring you to a home page. You'll see tiles for the work order section and also for your setup and your user profile. Click the work order tile if you'd like to create a work order. So we'll click that tile. This will bring us to the overview screen so you can see any of your outstanding work orders. First, let's take a look at creating our work orders. Underneath the work order management section, there is a link here to create your work order. So we'll click that link. If needed, you will select your site, select your subsite, select the building area, enter your location description, so additional notes about where the work is going to take place. By system default, the current date is selected for you, but you do have a calendar that you can click on if you need to select a future date. You can also add an optional start time by clicking on the clock icon, and this will be a guideline for when you would like the work to begin. It's not required, so I won't use it for this example. Next will be the service type. Depending on the service, you'll choose that from the drop-down list. If there are any preset symptoms and tasks, you can select it from the drop-down. If not, you can click directly in your service description box to type in that issue or request. If any other filters are enabled, such as priority level, you could choose the priority from the drop-down. Once you have all your required fields entered, click the Submit button to create your work order. We'll click Submit now. This will create the work order. And now that the work order has been created, since it has not yet been approved, you'd still have the ability to update your work order, open a discussion to send a message through NetFacilities, take a copy of this work order to create another one, or click a new button to create a brand new work order. On the existing work order, if we scroll down below those action buttons, there's a file section where you can click to add new, and you can add a picture or document in support of this work order. You'll browse to select the picture or file, and that'll save it to this work order. There's also an option to add a link. If maybe there's a link for a website that you need to add to the work order, you enter a name for the link, enter the link address, and click Update to save. The audit trail will always have the history of the work order, so when the work order was created and when any alerts are sent out with the date and timestamp. When you want to follow the status of your work order, you'll click on the link for overview, so we'll click on that on the top left. On the overview page, you'll have a find box where you can search for your work orders by number, maybe even a keyword. Click enter or the magnifying glass to search. You're also going to have a view for My Activity and All Activity. So My Activity will show the work orders that you're directly involved with, the ones that you have created. All Activity will show your work orders as well as any other users in your same user department. We have a feature that you can follow a work order. If you want to keep tabs on other work orders that have not been created by you, you can star the work order number and you'll be able to follow those work orders under that view. We have icons if you ever need to export your overview list to Excel. There's also an advanced search feature. If you click that link, this will take you to advanced search and you can use those filters to search for work orders. On the work order grid, there'll be detailed information that you can view, priority level if that is enabled, scheduled and overdue dates, who the work order is assigned to, who is the service type, originator, location, and site name. You'll also see the current status of the work order. So as your work order is open, which means it is brand new, when it's approved, in progress, and also completed and closed status. Indicators, if there are any files or documents attached, you'll see indicators for those. Work order number, if you hover over that work order number, it gives you brief location and work order description. You can also click the work order number, and that'll open up a print preview of that work order if you need to see it in more detail. And you'll have action buttons at the bottom of this work order page as well. Next to each work order number, there'll be an action button where you can discuss, edit, copy, or print. And keep in mind, you can do that on the print preview page as well. On the bottom of the page, you'll be able to filter by the work order status, the site that you are associated with, who it's assigned to, the type of work order, service type, department. And keep in mind, any of these selections that you make at the bottom of the page, the system will remember those selections if you log out or happen to navigate to another page. Also on the grid, the first four columns for file, actions, work orders, and indicators are stationary, but once you get to current status, you can actually rearrange these columns for your profile. You can also sort ascending or descending mode by clicking on the column title. And you can also click on the settings option to sort or hide any columns that you do not wish to see. If you uncheck those columns, it'll hide it for your profile. And you can always reselect those options so you can see those columns again on your view. Keep in mind, we do have a reset button on the bottom of the page. That'll just reset the filters at the very bottom of the page. If any columns have been hidden, they will remain hidden. There'll also be a history page where you can view your past work orders. So anything that has been completed and it has been filed to history, you'll always be able to view those records in history. If we hover over the menu, there'll be an option for setup. If you click on setup, this will take you to your user profile. If you do have access to editing your profile, you'll be able to update your first and last name, email address, if you need to add your phone number, your general settings, so your color in your system, your default list sizes, your landing home page. If you might want to receive a text alert if you enter a mobile number, you could check the boxes to activate those alerts by text message. Your email alert notifications, you can edit those if needed and click Save Changes to make any changes to those selections. We also have an out of office feature. If somebody may be out of the office and you want to make sure they receive your email notifications, you can check that box, select that user, and be sure to click Save Changes. For any additional questions that you may have, if you navigate to the home icon and click on the work order tile, there is a link here for the site map. And underneath the site map, there's a link here for contact support online. If you click that link, that'll give you our email address where you're able to reach out if you may have questions about the system. Also feel free to reach out to your administrator for any company related questions. Hope you enjoyed this training. Thank you for taking the time to view it. Take care and we'll talk to you soon.